Good morning, everyone. We are coming to you live via Facebook streaming, via YouTube streaming, and via Skype. Each one of you is welcomed to this live streaming. Sutras of Vigyan Bhairav Tantra. When sound dissolves, you get the most beautiful experience beyond imagination. When sound dissolves, you get the most beautiful experience ever possible. We know when drop mud dissolves in the ocean, it is fana. Then drop becomes oceanic. This is, in Sufi terminology, is baka. When sound dissolves, what happens? You have entered the world of one, the world of three, the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, is no more. Tantra says, Tantra calls this sound fullness. Buddha calls this state as soundlessness. What is the method to attain to this? Intone a sound as Om. Om is meaningless, it is just a sound. The entire cosmos is echoing this. Slowly and slowly, intone a sound as Om. Slowly and slowly, as the sound enters soundfulness, so do you. First, as the sound is intoned, you enter soundfulness, because the sutra is from Vigyan Bhairav Tantra. So the language of Tantra is being used. As sound enters soundfulness, so do you. And wait for the moment when sound has become so subtle, so atomic, that now any moment the sound will take jump from the world of laws, the world of three, and it will enter the one, the absolute. Wait. This is the most beautiful experience ever possible to a man when sound dissolves. You have to wait for that moment when sound takes a jump from the world of laws, the law of three, as Guruji have called, the world of three, and it enters the world of oneness, the absolute. There can be no beautiful experience than when sound dissolves. Suddenly you cannot find where this sound has gone. You cannot find where the sound is gone. You are hearing it subtly deep down. Om, Om, Om. And then it is no more there. No more there. You have entered the world of one, the existence. The world of three is no more. The seer, the seen, this is soundfulness, as Tantra calls it. This is soundlessness, as Buddha calls it. There can be no more beautiful experience to you than when sound dissolves. You have intoned sound. Throughout the life you have intoned the sound. Now allow it to enter. Take a jump from the known to the unknown. From the realm of three, diversity, to the realm of oneness. There will be no better experience than when this sound enters oneness, dissolves. Sound entering oneness is known as dissolution of the sound. This is a way, one of the most used, one of the most helpful. Mantra becomes so important because of this, because sound is already there in your mind. Sound is already there and your mind is filled with it. But to go one step beyond, you can use it as the jumping board. Just as you take a jump in the swimming pool. Sound is already there. Your mind is filled with it. Now you have to use it to take a jump. But there are difficulties. What are the difficulties? The first difficulty is that you fall asleep. Whosoever uses mantra must be aware of this difficulty. That is the hindrance, sleep. You are bound to fall asleep because it is so repetitious, so harmonious, so boring. You fall a victim to it. And do not think that your sleep is your meditation. Sleep is never a meditation and it cannot be a meditation. Sleep is good in itself, but be aware. If you are using the mantra for sleep as transcendental meditation, the highest profile word is uses mantra as intoxication. If you are using mantra for sleep, then it is good. Nothing is wrong. Instead of taking the tranquilizers, mantra becomes the tranquilizer. But if you are using mantra for a spiritual awakening, then be aware of sleep. For those who use mantra for sleep, it is good. For those who use mantra For a spiritual awakening, sleep is the enemy, and it so easily happens. It is so beautiful because it is a different type of sleep. Remember that too. When it comes from a mantra, it is not an ordinary sleep. Indeed, it is a sleep of a different kind. Greeks have used the word and called it hypnos. And from hypnos, the word hypnotism has been derived. In yoga, we call it yoga tantra. Yoga tantra. Tantra means a very fragile sleep. A particular sleep which happens to yogi and not to the ordinary man. It is hypnos. An induced sleep, that's why yoga uses a technique, yoga nidra. It is not ordinary sleep. And the difference is very basic. So try to understand it. Because if you try a mantra, any sound, this is going to be your problem. Greatest problem is to face is sleep. Hypnosis uses the same technique of creating boredom. Hypnotist goes on repeating a certain word or a certain sentence, and he is continuously repeating it. This creates boredom, or it gives you a light to concentrate on. Seeing a light continuously, you are bored. In many temples, churches, people fall asleep. Listening to scriptures, they fall asleep. I have heard a man, when asked, why do you go to church? Said, I go to the church to sleep. And how long do you sleep? As long as the priest continues the sermon. They have heard those scriptures so many times. It creates a boredom. There is no excitement. They have already known this story. As compared to that, when you watch a movie, you cannot fall asleep. But if you watch a religious show, you tend to fall asleep. If you go on seeing the same film again and again, you will fall asleep. No excitement for the mind. There is no challenge. There is nothing to see. You know the entire story. You know what is going on the next. You have heard the Ramayana so many times. We continuously do the recitation of Ramayana and Bhagavad Gita. But something like this is not done of Quran or Bible. We have, Hindus have 7 nights Ramayana Yajna or Bhagavad Gita or Shiv Mahapuran or Bhagavad Mahapuran. Continuously they have these ceremonies. You have heard the Ramayana and other scriptures so many times. You can be asleep without any difficulty and you go on hearing the sermon, the talk in your sleep, and you will never feel that you are asleep, because you will never miss anything in this story. You know it already. I recall when the Ramayana serial started telecasting on television. It started in India in 90s, I guess. So I used to buy the videotapes and play it at home for the children. They have known the entire story. They know very well. This particular episode comes in this number of the videotape. They were very much aware of it. If I have to find out to look for a particular episode, so I used to ask my two children which video this episode will be. Preachers' voices are very deeply sleep-inducing, monotonous. You can talk monotonously in the same pitch, then sleep happens. I am talking to you in one tone. There is no excitement, but it is up to you to remain awake, because what I am explaining to you, you have never heard. Day after day, session after session, whatsoever I explain to you, you have never heard before, because there is no repetition. That's why this is different, and you cannot fall asleep. Many psychologists advise their patients with insomnia to go and hear religious talk. I'm not talking to you about this story of any scripture. Now and then I give a reference to it if that be need of the talk of the moment. When the people who are suffering from insomnia and they go to listen to a religious talk, they fall asleep easily. When you are bored, you will fall asleep. But that sleep is hypnosis. That sleep is Yoga Tantra. And what is the difference? That is not natural. It is an unnatural. It is with particular attributes. When you fall asleep through a mantra or through hypnosis, you can create any illusion very easily. An illusion will be as real as possible. In ordinary sleep, you can create dreams, but the moment you are awake, you will know that these were the dreams. In hypnosis, in Yoga Tantra, in Yoga Nidra, you can create visions. When you will be out of it, you will not be able to say that these were dreams. You will say that these were more real than the life around you. This is the reason in the valley, 7 valleys, there are 7 valleys, and through an induced sleep, one gets the experience of a different reality. The feeling is such that you know this is real. You can say the whole life is unreal, Maya or illusion, but you cannot say whatsoever you have seen in hypnosis, in Yog Nidra, in Yog Tandra is unreal. It is so alive, so colorful, so attractive and so magnetizing. That is why if someone says something to you while you are hypnotized, you will believe him absolutely. There can be no doubt. You cannot doubt him at any cost. You may have seen some hypnotic sessions. Whatsoever the hypnotist says, the hypnotized person believes and starts acting out. So this is the reason that it is used for healing. If he says to a man, you are a woman, now you walk on the stage, the man will walk exactly like a woman. He cannot walk like a man because hypnosis is deep trust of faith. There is so conscious mind to think. There is no conscious mind to think. You have been hypnotized. No reasoning mind is there to argue. You are simply the heart. You simply believe. There is no way not to believe, not to question. You cannot question. The questioning mind is asleep, and that is the difference. In your ordinary sleep, the questioning mind is present. It is not asleep. In hypnosis, your questioning mind goes to sleep, but you are not asleep. That is why you can hear the hypnotist say anything to you and you will follow his instructions. It is good as far as healing is concerned. In ordinary sleep you cannot hear. Your reasoning mind is not asleep. So if something happens which can be fatal to you, your sleep will be broken by your reason. A mother is sleeping with her child. She may not hear anything else. But if the child gives even a very small sound, a small signal, the mother wakes up immediately. If a child feels a little uneasy, she will awake. The reasoning mind of the mother is fully awake. You are asleep, but your reasoning mind is alert. So even sometimes in dreams, you can feel that these are the dreams. Of course, the moment you feel this, your dream will be broken. You can feel it is absurd, but the moment you feel the dream will be broken, your mind is alert. A part of it is continuously watching, but in hypnosis, in Yog Nidra, in Yog Tandra, the watcher is alive. The watcher is asleep. That is the problem with all those who want to use sound to go into soundlessness or soundfulness or to go beyond. They must be aware that the mantra should not become the auto-hypnotic technique. It must not create auto-hypnosis. It must not put you into sleep. So what can be done? You can do one thing. While you are using your mantra, While you are intoning a mantra, do not simply intone it. At the same time, be alert and listen to it. I am speaking to you. It is intoning, but at the same time, I am listening to it as well. Intone it and listen to it simultaneously. I am speaking. The live streaming is going on. You are hearing me. I am also hearing the person who is speaking. And for that matter, the person who is speaking and the one who is hearing is the same. While you are intoning your mantra, do not simply intone it. At the same time, be alert and listen to it. Also, intone it and listen to it both. Otherwise, if you are not listening continuously, it will become your lullaby and you will fall into deep sleep. That sleep will be very good, very relaxing. This is what Mahesh Yogi told the Americans and the Western world, and this process came to be known as transcendental meditation. You will feel refreshed after it. You will feel a certain well-being, but that is not the point. When the sound enters soundfulness or soundlessness, that is the most beautiful experience that you can ever have. With this first sutra comes to an end, and then we will begin with the next sutra. But before that, I will take a certain questions and then come back to those. Until then, take care and do have a pleasant day.